These are the 7 ways you can make over $120,000 a year in 2025. I'm going to give you a full guide of all the 7 business models that are considerable in 2025 to make $120,000 a year. Now, at the core, $120,000 a year is just $10,000 a month in profit per month. And realistically, after taxes, you're sitting anywhere from 70,000 or so take home profit for yourself. So at the end of the day, that's after taxes, and 70,000 isn't a ton of money, but what you can do is you can leverage that 70,000 and use that to build your business even further, invest in other assets and not liabilities, and ultimately grow your wealth by having this base income of around $120,000 a year. So business model number 1 is going to be YouTube automation. YouTube automation is where you pick a niche, build a YouTube channel, and you find clips and content around your niche. For example, if I'm doing a YouTube channel around celebrities and I'm creating content, then all I would do is I would look up news articles that are talking about celebrities. For example, someone getting married, someone getting divorced, some random news. At this point, there's always a news article about celebrities basically every single day. Even the smallest things, there's content around it. So I would create content around those topics that these news articles would blast out, and you have to be pretty quick with it because news dies pretty quickly. So you need to have your content out in that specific niche. That is more of a niche that's a little bit harder for beginners. But if you were to do something else, yoga, for example, yoga is not depending on news, so you can create content whenever you need it, but you want to be consistent with this business model. The thing with YouTube automation is it is easy on paper, but it's also very hard, especially if you have no capital or low capital. You would have to get the content idea, you have to write the script, film the video, you have to edit it, get the thumbnail, and then publish it in this huge pipeline of steps just to get one video published that you guys may not even know that's on the other side of the screen. So YouTube automation is completely possible, but would I recommend it? Personally, no. Business model number 2 is really not a business model. This is if you are absolutely have no capital, this is something I would consider, which is going to be freelancing. So freelancing is essentially basically a job, if you think about it. You list your service on Fiverr and Upwork, and now there's a lot of competitors that have services on Fiverr, Upwork, and your skills might not even be unique because a lot of people might have the same skills. For example, creating thumbnails. What I would recommend is to look at the sellers or the freelancers that are doing the most amount of revenue with their service, and I would take components of their listing and the top 2 and 3 listings and combine them into your own listing and try to find some points where you can do better. Either that's price in the beginning. If you have absolutely no reviews, you kind of have to compete on price, your better listing, your better offer. Those are the 3 ways you can actually slowly get some clients through freelancing and work your way up. I have a thumbnail designer that has been on Fiverr since 2013, so over 11 to 12 years at this point, and it's really surprising that yes, you can do it full time. Personally, I would not want to do it because it's just very, very, very repetitive and I would kind of get bored of it. But it is something that's actually viable because I've seen people make a living with freelancing. The third business model is also something that requires absolutely no budget, which is going to be Instagram theme pages. If you're watching this video, you have access to the internet and you most likely have a phone. So all you really need is the Instagram app. You need an email account and you're good to go to create an Instagram theme page. Now, Instagram theme pages require absolutely no budget, but I recommend, because everyone is coming in creating content with no budget, you kind of have to make yourself stand out from the crowd. I would recommend creating a niche Instagram account. Some of my favorite niches comes down to these 3: money, love, and fitness. Those are the top 3 niches because if you think about it, it's always a niche that's always going to be viable no matter what economy that we're in. Money, because everyone loves money. Love, who doesn't want to be loved? Fitness, and everyone wants to be jacked and everyone wants to be fit. At the core, those are the top 3 niches at the end of the day. So with this business model, all you're really doing is just going to be reposting content. Either you're going to take that from YouTube Shorts, you're going to take that from TikTok, or even on Instagram Reels and reposting on your theme page. The name of the game with this business model is really just how consistent you are. Honestly, I would be posting 2 to 3 times a day, posting viral content, interacting with your followers. In the beginning, doing follow for follow to grow the initial following base, commenting on viral videos. And it's very, 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 very boring work if you think about it, unless you really like the niche that you're in. But it's also very, very repetitive. It's basically kind of like working a 9-to-5 job. And that's really what it comes down to. Like, if you have absolutely no budget, this is something I would consider doing because you really have nothing to lose except your own time. So with that being said, said, this business model really has a low barrier entry, which just means that you can't expect much. Some of my theme pages I started many years ago, back in 2017. I had a food Instagram page, I have a travel Instagram page. I no longer run them, and I wish I actually did, because maybe they would be making quite a significant amount of money at this point. But honestly, if I still kept it running for this long, I would really realistically only be making 10-20K. If you think about it, 10-20K is not bad, but that's also 6-7 years just to get to that point. And really what it comes down to is monetizing, because a lot of people don't know how to monetize these pages. The best ways to monetize these pages is really just by selling info products or digital products. So either like an ebook, a mini course, or things like that, because people can bulk purchase them, or people can impulse buy them, and actually you can promote them on your Instagram theme page. The fourth business model is something that I've been doing since 2021, which is going to be high ticket dropshipping. But with this business model, it actually requires budget. I started with just $1,500. I had more than that, but I only really put in $1,500 for this business model. And basically at its core, if you know what dropshipping is, it's where you are essentially the middleman. So whenever you buy something from a website, or it could be Amazon, it could be Lowe's, it could be Home Depot, a lot of times the seller that's selling it is dropshipping. And all it really means is that they're working with a manufacturer to ship that product directly to the customer instead of shipping it to you and then you shipping it to the customer. It just creates this flow where it just makes logistical sense not to have it shipped twice and just eat into your profit margin. So dropshipping has been around since forever, but with high ticket dropshipping, it's a relatively new concept, and it's honestly something that is untapped, unsaturated at this point. Because if you think about it, instead of selling $30 products, you can sell $3,000 products and make anywhere from $1,000 plus in profit per sale. And just a very high return on investment if you know what you're doing. And really, if it comes down to it and I was just left with a few $1,000s to my name, this would be the business model that I would restart today, and I would be up and running to 10K a month profit in less than 24 weeks. So that is a business model that I recommend, that I personally have experience with. Business model number 5 is going to be digital products. So with digital products, you essentially are creating content, ebooks, info products, and you're selling them via, you could sell them via Instagram theme pages, your YouTube content. So it can be anywhere. So this is not realistically a business model in itself. It's really a monetization method if you have traffic. So the main thing is you can build these digital products, or you can outsource and drop service these digital products, but really at its core, you need to know how to market these and actually bring in sales. So not too much to talk about in terms of digital products. You really just need to create content, a book or a mini course on your niche. For example, if you're doing travel, your ebook could be the top 10 travel secrets that you must know as a first-time traveler. Something simple like that. And you can have multiple variations and you can bundle it together. So a lot of things you can do, and people actually make a decent amount from ebooks and digital products, even if they're low ticket. The sixth business model is going to be SMMA, and honestly, this one is very competitive at this point. But the thing is, with SMMA, it has a low barrier entry. You have to be doing cold outreach, either that's dials, phone calls, cold email, DMs, Looms, LinkedIn outreaches, any way you can outreach to people. And it's really just a numbers game, and you have to perfect your pitch. With a SMMA, or also known as agency, it is a business model where at the end of the day, you are kind of a slave to your clients, because if your clients don't pay you, then you're out of money, and then you're kind of tied to your clients in terms of you have to be able to do that work and fulfill those services. Now, a lot of times, the main thing I see with new people that are starting SMMA is they're pitching services they have absolutely no clue about. And I was actually in the same position a few years ago. I started an agency, thought because it was a good business model to start, and I started selling Facebook ads. I never ran a single Facebook ad at that point, and I was trying to sell Facebook ads. I didn't know anything I was talking about, and I was able to sign one client, but at the end of the day, they left me after the first month. And it's really just like, when it comes down to it, I would never start SMMA if I was just brand new to business. You're selling a service that ultimately you have no clue about 99% of the times from what I've seen. So I would start any of the other business models, learn those skills that are valuable, and actually apply them, and actually fail, and actually learn from them before you even consider running an agency. Because agency is not really any better than any of these other business models. Yes, the margins can be better, but you are kind of a slave to your own clients. If I knew how to run it myself, I would not consider doing this business model. The seventh and last business model is going to be blogging. So blogging really just comes down to creating a niche site, either using WordPress or some other website builder. And really with blogging, there's a deep learning curve of SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's really just depending on Google's algorithm a lot of times, and it could take some time to get going. With blogging, you are really just creating content. For example, if you own a cooking niche site, that's where you're going to be blogging and creating content, you would create content around like top 10 meals for bodybuilders or just random content like that that's getting searches, that are getting interest on Google. When it comes down to it, blogging is really just writing or just creating content on your website via a text format versus video format. So for most people, this is a little bit easier, more straightforward than YouTube, because you had to show your face, you had to get into you had to know how to like edit, and which is very, very hard in itself to learn. So blogging is a little bit more viable than YouTube automation in my opinion, but it's still something I wouldn't do myself because it's really time intensive. Even I started a blog when I was 17 and I just gave up after two years because, you know, with all the effort and time I was putting into it, there was no AI writer at the time. But even then, everyone has access to these AI writing tools and everyone's just spamming Google with the same AI regurgitated content. So when it comes down to it, I would not even consider doing this business model. It's very, very difficult at this point. And if you think about it, more and more people are watching videos than reading text as we go into the brain rot economy of this new generation, Gen Zs. And at its core, this is still viable at this point in time, but I personally would not do it myself. With that being said, those are 7 business models that can make you $120,000 a year. And personally, my favorite is number 4. That's personally my biased opinion that has worked the best for me. And I tried almost all of these business models at some point in my career, and number 4 has worked for me. So with that being said, I encourage you to check out some of my other videos on my channel, and I'll link down below a video explaining why in comparing the other business models to high ticket dropshipping. With that being said, if you have any questions, drop in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.